What's up, Taiwan? I'm Erika Liu with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. The head of the Taiwan People's Party, Wen-Je, is being criticized for using election subsidies to purchase a $1.3 million office space in Taipei. Ke, who ran in January's presidential election, has defended the purchase as a legitimate use of the funds. He says the purchase was consistent with the actions of other presidential candidates, including former President Taiwan. Ke's party is dealing with a number of corruption scandals, with several key members resigning or facing charges of improperly using funds. Japan says a Chinese spy plane has entered its airspace for the first time. The Japanese self-defense forces scrambled jets and issued warnings at the spy plane after it entered the country's air defense identification zone. The Y-9 spy plane then breached Japanese airspace southwest of the Danjo Islands, lingering in the area for several minutes. The Defense Ministry says China has been stepping up activity in the East China Sea to the south of Nagasaki City. Japan's foreign ministry summoned a Chinese embassy official over the incident on Monday. The military is holding missile tests in southern Taiwan designed to give its troops hands-on experience with U.S.-made weapons. Hameokon reports from Pingdong.
Taiwan's military is practicing how to defend its coast. For the next few days, the Army will be using U.S.-made tow missiles to simulate how to defend against enemy ships that are trying to make it aboard. These are extremely powerful weapons, often mounted on vehicles with greater range and power than smaller missiles. So powerful that with every shot, the building we're standing on shakes from the blast. Now, the way this drill works is that each team has to launch their missile to hit the target, guiding it with the remote control inside the vehicle. Taiwan's recently appointed Defense Minister Wellington Koo is also overseeing the drill for the first time, as on Monday's exercise will be shooting practice ahead of Tuesday's actual test.
今天练习赛，明天是正式比赛，还要再看明天的成绩。好，今天练习一下，这个一定要先熟，然后呢才能够再煮。我们以后要多打。
Officials here say these drills are important because they practice defending against what's known as the nightmare scenario, which is an all-out invasion by China. China just sits over 100 kilometers across the Taiwan Strait and is threatened to bring Taiwan under its control with military force. That's why Taiwan has been boosting its defense and buying more weapons from the U.S., trying to make it as difficult as possible for China to land troops. The launchers being used here were just delivered this year.
那它与我们的旧式发射系统最大的差异在于，它整合了我们的日夜间瞄准系统，并具有主动雷射。那在能见度良好的状况下，那可观测距离可达10公里。
Taiwan's military says that this is only the first part of the drill, and they'll be firing the same missiles from this same spot later at night. It'll be the first time that they conduct a nighttime shooting drill of these tow missiles, making sure they can defend their coastline at all times of the day. Joseph Wu and Hameokon in Pingdong County for TaiwanPlus.
A Chinese Coast Guard ship has rammed a Philippine fishing vessel in the South China Sea. Manila says the Chinese ship fired water cannons and intentionally rammed into one of its vessels. The Philippine ship was taking fuel and food supplies to fishers in the South China Sea. Beijing says the Philippine vessel was attempting to illegally enter waters near the Sabina Shoal. That's an area both countries claim as their territory. The next day, China once again blockaded Philippine ships from reaching their outposts in the area, a move the Philippines is calling illegal.
So tayo ay sumusunod sa batas. Yung ibang bansa, katulad ng China, hindi sumusunod sa batas. That is why we have to assert, really, our sovereignty and our sovereign rights.
Workers in Australia will soon be legally allowed to mute work notifications once they clock out for the day, as a new law comes into effect on Monday. But as Irene Lin reports, workers in Taiwan may have a different set of expectations when it comes to working hours.
Some employees in Australia may actually be able to enjoy their off hours in peace and quiet, as a new law designed to protect their personal lives takes effect on Monday. The so-called Right to Disconnect law is designed to prevent them from being punished for choosing to mute unwelcome notifications from their employers after they leave work, in the hope of giving them a better work-life balance. Reactions on the street are mostly positive.
I think it's actually really important that we have laws like this. We spend so much of our time connected to our phones, connected to our emails all day, and I think that it's really hard to switch off as it is.
But some think it may be difficult for this law to catch on in competitive industries.
Well, you know, we are professionals, we're well paid, we're expected to deliver, and we feel we have to deliver 24 hours a day if we have to. So the phone's always on, the computer's always on, and we're working.
Some workers in Taiwan share that sentiment. They seem to prioritize work efficiency even outside of work hours, following unwritten rules of workplace culture.
回个讯息的话还好啦，对，然后或是因为有时候可能也是交接上有疏失，或是有一些业务正在处理，可能需要你的回复。那如果不会耽误太多的时间，就回复一下。
下面人就会去配合比职位比较高的人，就为了不要失去这份工作，或是这个阶级上的一个既定的，就从小到大既定的一个灌输啦。就是小时候爸妈就说。 要出去工作啊，要配合主管、老板什么的，对。但现在这几年可能要好一点点，我才敢不读不回啊。
And employers here say requests for urgent responses often come from their clients, not from them.
业主交代很紧急的事情，或是业务发生一些紧急的状况，对，那个就下班后真的是要赶快处理。
In Taiwan, there's no law that grants workers the right to disconnect after hours. But people say more offices have become less overbearing, and younger workers have started standing up against the traditional demand to always be reachable.
如果今天有一方感受到不舒服的话，那我觉得这就不是一件合理的事。所以我是希望说，这件事情慢慢的是能够让老板方跟员工方能够理解对方，而不是说一定要用一个法律去强制执行说啊，我可以不听员工的，或者我可以不听老板。
The line between when it's reasonable to contact employees and when it's off limits can be a difficult one for employers to draw. Whether in Australia or Taiwan, what may be more important is clear terms on work hour expectations. Devin Tsai and Irene Lin for TaiwanPlus.
New data is painting a positive picture for Taiwan's economy for the rest of the year. The figures come from a leading think tank in the country. The Taiwan Institute of Economic Research says strong export orders and domestic demand are helping the country's economy weather higher consumer prices following Typhoon Gaimi in July. The institute says demand for AI chips is driving foreign sales, while retail and domestic tourism are fueling demand locally. Despite recent volatility in Taiwan stocks, the think tank says stockbrokers are generally optimistic about the market through to the end of the year. A Taipei social housing block is the subject of a new controversy at City Hall. Though just 4 years old, the building has extensive problems, especially water damage from leaks. And as John Van Trieste reports, lower-income residents worry they may be stuck with a hefty repair bill.
Mr. R shows off a makeshift rain-catching device he's invented to deal with constant water leaks through his window frame. With a coveted place in a brand-new government-built apartment for lower-income people, he might have counted himself lucky. But at just 4 years old, his $44 million building, the Dalong Xincheng building, is already plagued with problems. There are cracks in the walls. A recent electrical storm tore off outside tiling and raised questions about the building's lightning protection. And constant leaks after rain are part of life for residents here, with one rooftop flood last year even taking the elevator offline. This is far beyond the scope of DIY repairs.
漏了再修，修了再漏。 一直到现在也修不好，还叫我们付钱，很奇怪、很不合理的事情。
As a Taipei City project, the building has become a lightning rod of its own in city politics. City Councilor Chen Yijun of the ruling Democratic Progressive Party says residents have gotten notices announcing they'll have to split an $80,000 bill to fix up the building. She's blaming the mayor, who belongs to the opposition Kuomintang, for the issue.
蒋万安真的不应该让这些住户再花任何的1毛钱。你们没有一个好的房子还给民众，现在却要民众付255万的修缮费用，这简直是吃人够够。
But the mayor says that's not actually what's going to happen, pointing out the fact that the building also houses a public marketplace. He says they might be able to absorb some of these costs.
对于新增设施的整体优化，我想这个部分相关费用。 上述也会持续跟管委会来讨论。
Until there's a resolution, the building stands ready for the next rainstorm to soak its walls and ceilings. The city says it will take on the costs of repairs, and that its offices will discuss the matter of so-called improvements with the building's management. But what is an improvement versus a repair? And just what kind of bill may residents end up being saddled with? These are questions that still don't have answers. Justin Wu and John Van Trieste in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
10 people have been arrested for allegedly laundering more than $50 million for illegal gambling operations in Taiwan. Police say the money laundering organization was run by a husband and wife in Taichung in central Taiwan. They are suspected of helping the gambling sites convert their illegal profits into cryptocurrency. Police allege the couple recruited young people to work for them. No more dolphin shows. Taiwan's agricultural ministry toughens regulations on animal performances after animal protection groups demand change. Tiffany Wang reports.
Visitors at this marine park in Hualien are taking turns getting to know the 5 dolphins that live here. It's part of a new interactive experience replacing the live performances dolphins used to give. That's after a new law went into effect against animal shows at the country's zoos and aquariums. Park operators must now provide documents on the performance material and conditions to ensure the animal's safety.
我觉得只要有可以跟海豚有互动，我们不一定需要它表演。就像我们今天来这边互动，可以更了解它，然后还可以摸摸它。
There are currently only 2 marine parks still holding dolphin shows in Taiwan, but soon there may be none. Both of their permits are set to expire in the next few years.
他们的动物展演许可证是到115年就截止了哈。那如果都要申请延长的部分的话，要经过海保署的这边的同意，它展演的一个内容跟项目以后，才可以跟做一个展演的延长许可。
But operators at this park in Hualien say that cutting shows involving cetaceans like whales and dolphins is in line with international conservation trends, and that people still have plenty of reasons to visit the park.
后续的转型，我们将成为亚洲最大的一个鲸豚救援教育基地，将提供我们的场域，还有我们兽医的专业知识及留下来的海豚，提供给保育鲸豚类最佳的一个后援的一个教育基地。
There are only 13 countries that ban captive whale and dolphin performances. Animal protection groups say these protected species should not be forced to perform.
像动物园的动物，我们也不会把它当作是娱乐。那为什么海豚它会是一种被娱乐为一个方向出发点的动物呢？对，其实这是我们一直在思考的。所以这一次的修订，它确实是奠定了一个这样子的基础。
The 2 remaining parks with dolphin shows have some time to decide whether or not to renew their licenses. But even so, animals kept in captivity cannot be released into the wild, and park operators will have to figure out a humane plan to take care of them for the rest of their lives, on stage or off. Patrick Chen and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan missed its chance to take home the Little League World Series title after losing to a U.S. team in the finals. The team from Lake Mary, Florida beat Taiwan 2-1 to secure the championship. Taiwan had a 1-0 lead until the end of the 6th inning when Lake Mary tied the game and later scored a winning hit. It's the closest Taiwan's team has gotten to winning the championship in 15 years.
虽然冠军赛那一场输了，很可惜，就差一个出局数。但是我们要把这些悲伤化为前进的动力，到国中继续加油。虽然冠军赛输掉了，但是还很开心，可以和队友创造这个美好的回忆。
Taiwan's Wen-Je has taken the top spot at a breakdancing competition in Slovakia. Known as Quake in the breaking community, Sun beat out his Ukrainian competitor Raptor in the finals. Sun says he wants to make it big in the breakdancing world so he can help promote Taiwan. He represented the country at the Paris Olympics earlier this month and will compete in Portugal this week. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, check out these sheep in France getting vaccinated against a disease called blue tongue. It's not normally serious, but can be fatal in rare cases if left untreated. I'm Erika Liu. Take care and see you next time.